Beautiful souls, badass heart warriors, TGIM. Thank God it's Monday. Ravenous Red, Amy here, back with you for another TGIM live on the journey to your inner self. Little later than normal. I watched the time come and I watched it go. But that's okay. I'm here to talk to you today about you and the power that you have within. I'm wearing my warrior sweater, got my little jewel, my gem, I'm drawing a blank. What are these? Arrowhead. Not, Jewel, you're on my mind right now. Sending you love. You definitely are. Okay. So let's start off high, and I'm sending you love too. Definitely start off. Hello, Instagram. Hello, YouTube. With asking how you're doing, how your weekend was. Sage, so good to just get rid of any negative, unwanted energies. Ta-da! So, what does it mean to be holistic? I want to, break through some paradigms or some beliefs that some people might have about what lively intuitive transformations is all about. Yes, it's holistic. That does not mean that we cancel out or ignore Western medicine. When you bring Western medicine and holistic medicines or indigenous wisdom together, beautiful and incredible things can happen. They can happen for you. They can happen for others, for Mother Earth, for all of us, all of the natural environments. This includes ecosystems, animals. Come here, Ellen. This way, this way. Hi. Oh, yes. She's nice and clean. She got a bath. Lovely. So again, beautiful things can happen. Indigenous culture belongs to the natural world. Okay, and it's the oldest living culture on this planet. It's the basis that represents our connection to the natural world, as well as the spiritual world. So indigenous beliefs are based on what we like to call the medicine wheel. Okay, and the medicine wheel actually represents all different races. If we look at everything in the world, it's all cyclical. It's all circles. And so when we look at Maslow's hierarchy of needs, it's a pyramid. And it just doesn't, it's not based on the foundation of the life cycles of what it truly means to be human. I'm just going to quickly pull it up. Maslow's hierarchy of needs is a theory of motivation which states that 5 categories of human needs dictate an individual's behavior. So it starts off with your physiological needs. Okay, so this is your physiological needs. So that's like your, I want to say, like your food, your water, your shelter. The stuff that we need to maintain our human body, to be alive. And then it moves into safety needs. So this is like your personal security, your financial security, resources, health, property, that sort of stuff. And then love and belonging is the next one. So this is 3rd level up. Love and belonging is friendship, intimacy, family, sense of connection. And then 4th is esteem. So self-respect, self-esteem, self-status, self-recognition, self-strength, self-freedom. And then, or just freedom in general. And then the 5th one is self-actualization. So the desire to become the most that one can be. People like to call this transcendence. Okay, so Maslow's hierarchy of needs has one thing wrong. Actually, multiple things, but let's start focusing on one. One, it's a pyramid. It does not represent the cycle of life. It doesn't represent the cycles of life. Now, it was his hierarchy of needs was based on indigenous teachings. But 17th century medicine and psychology is about, or was about, control. Okay, so the importance of physiological needs, air, water, food, shelter, sleep, clothing, reproduction, yes, that's vitally important. But first off, it comes to like self-actualization, understanding that we exist in we, our spirit, our soul, our energy, whatever you want to call it, exists here. We need that self-actualization first and foremost. So we start here, and then we move in to that the physiological needs of ourself. And like that includes love, safety, and belonging. It's not separate. Love, safety, and belonging are not separate from one another. And our brain doesn't even separate them, okay? The survival part of our brain incorporates love, safety, and belonging as one. It's considered as one. I don't know why Maslow separated them. Anywho, so love, safety, and belonging. This is like in our mental, our emotional, and our esteem. Okay, so that's coming in here and here. Our physiological needs, our love, safety, and belonging, and our esteem, our emotional needs. And then we come back to self-actualization, who we are. Why do we exist? What's the purpose here? What's our role here? Who am I? And then the journey starts again. So we got white, black. Actually, okay, so I'm going backwards. Oh, it's backwards in here in the camera. I apologize, guys. Okay, so we got white, yellow, red, black. Okay, so this is the way the journey goes. So we start with our spirit. We start with our love, our physiological needs in the physical world. And then we go to our love, safety, and belonging, and our esteem, our emotions, and then come back to the top. So yeah, white race, yellow race, red, black. We're all connected. We're all involved as one. So what does this have to do with us? Well, everything is a cycle or a circle. That's, our seasons. Winter, spring, summer, fall. Winter, spring, summer, fall. Works in a season. As well as our life cycles. So here, this is sweet. Okay, so elder. Oh my God, sorry. When I am talking, I get downloads from spirits, or channels from spirit. So elder, we start with the top of the circle being elder. That's our life cycle. So it's like us being in spirit form, being that elder, that wisdom keeper, knowing like past life lessons, previous life lessons. And then we decide we're going to come back into this world. And so we're being reborn into this world as a baby. Okay, as a baby, and it's springtime to be reborn as ourself, as our innocence, as childlike wonder and awe, to be able to be open to experience, to be able to just be open to experience, and open to possibility, open to new ways of thinking, of feeling, of being. So that's where we come into this world. That's where we're reborn every spring. And then we go into the south, which is our mental, starting to understand that, I need things to live. I need personal security. I need resources. I need health, property, all of these sort of things, like friendship, intimacy, connection, family, community. That's what plays out in our mind. And so when we don't have those love, safety, and belongings within our mind, or if our mind is not believing that we are worthy or deserving of it, we're going to struggle. We're going to struggle, as well as if we make changes. A common fear that comes up is that we're not going to have that love, safety, and belonging when we go forward. If we fear letting go of what we know out of fear of what's to come, of the unknown. And so a lot of times, on this self-discovery journey or self-improvement journey, a lot of times people find themselves in that grief cycle or that pain cycle of like loneliness, despair, like alienation, isolation, feeling so different from the rest of the world, like they feel like they're out of this world or not from this world. And so I want to talk to that part of the journey a bit, because that is like an ego death in the sense of it. Our brains, our brains have this way of holding on to attachment to what it knows. And so we have to, I was looking for a good explanation of it. It's just not coming up. Oh, here it is. Okay. So when we say like we're losing our mind, or we just don't know, where things are really bad and we're struggling navigating it, it's because what we're experiencing then is the loss of our executive decision maker in our brain. And that doesn't mean like it's not going to come back, because right, when something dies, it's reborn. So when we lose that executive decision maker in our mind, it feels like we're losing control. It feels like we're losing our minds, or we're not of this world, or whatever. Because that executive decision maker gives us a sense of control. So it's like trusting in those moments that what we're going through is just that, it's that sense of surrender. And so it's holding that trust that we're going to make it through, that, while it may feel like we're losing control or losing our senses and stuff, we're going to make it through. The old saying, this too shall pass. That's when we need to remind ourselves that, because that executive decision maker is going through its death. It's going through its rebirth cycle, and being able to like come out and find what truly works for who you are now, who you are trying to be more in alignment with. Okay. So that's what we call the egoic death. In that. So was there anything else I wanted to talk about that? I think really is allowing yourself to look at all the different life cycles. Oh, yeah, okay. Life cycles of humanity. Okay, so we're talking back about the life cycle. So baby being reborn. Mental, we become teenager. In our mental health, that's like our teenager mind. And doesn't matter wherever you are along your journey. You don't have to be a teenager in itself, but we're talking about the cycles, right? And so we go through this, our teenage years, or our rebellious stage. And so when we're shifting new ways of seeing or believing or thinking, we go through this rebellious stage of, I don't want to fucking do it. Like I want to do what I know, I've always known to be me, or whatever. And so we go through this rebellious stage. Now that's a very vital part of us. We can't ignore The monkey brain keeps us in fear. Yes. Yes. We can't ignore that breaking free part of us because we want to have that freedom. I think that that freedom is essential, as did acknowledge in Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Freedom is important for self-esteem and on the journey. So it's about how can you break free and do some fun, wild, and crazy shit that's not going to be harmful to you or others, right? And when people don't break free and do some fun, crazy shit, or have honor their inner rebellious self or inner, I don't know what you want to call it. You're like inner devil, like the part of you that wants to indulge in like stuff society deems taboo. Then what happens is we become very rigid and tense, and we're not honoring that very real part of us. So what's a recommendation here? Allow yourself to play hooky. Give yourself permission to play hooky. Not from the stuff that makes you feel good or helps you feel good, but from other stuff like maybe doing the dishes, or maybe you need to not plan or schedule something and go and just adventure, see where the road takes you. Maybe it's dressing up in a wig and walking around the mall, pretending you're somebody else, or you introduce yourself to somebody else. You play a character for a day. Do some wild, fun, crazy shit that, again, is not going to be harmful to you or others. And then we move into our adult phase. This is where we like become emotionally mature, where we grow up, but not grow old, because again, we're still allowing ourselves to break free and be wild and have fun, play, etc. Invite what we really like to do as a kid into ourselves. So this is, yeah, where we become our emotional intelligence self, where we can use our wisdom from yesterday's to today. It's 11:11 in our today. So using the wisdom of yesterday's for our present, for our choices today. So again, like rest is fuel for tomorrow. Successful people have solid morning routines. And why is that? Because it's not always about doing what we want to do. Okay. And then, yeah, we become our elder self or our wise self, and then we be reborn. We learn the lessons and we get reborn. And so this cycle is continual and happens all the time. So there's always a vitally important reason as to why someone or you would continue to do the things that they do. It's based on some level inside them that even though like that even if it's dysfunctional or harmful or dangerous to themselves or others, there's always a vitally important reason as to why someone would do that. Now, most of this has to do with the beliefs about themselves or how the world works. What are beliefs? Beliefs are not about like religion or even spirituality. Beliefs are the thoughts that you continue to think. Okay. Now, these thoughts can play way in the background and happening that we don't even know that they're happening. And I'm getting a truth bump. So I'm going to share this personal story. What I mean by that is one time I was headed on my way to a doctor's appointment, and there I was driving down the road. It was a beautiful freaking sunny day. The highways were clear. Things were good. Okay. Life was good. I was making it to excuse me. I was making it to all my appointments, and yeah, just life in general was really good. And all of a sudden I was like, I couldn't breathe. I felt like I was struggling to get air. My hands were sweaty on the steering wheel. My armpits were hot and sweaty. And I just was like, oh my God, what is happening? And so I'm going to tap a little bit because I don't want my brain to think I'm back in that situation. Now, and if you struggle with depersonalization or disassociation or zoning out or blanking out, tapping can really help bring you back to the present moment, from your brain going off in a spiral. So yeah, there I was driving down the road and all these things were happening. And what I felt was freezing. I was frozen in fear of like what was to come. And so what I had to do in that moment was ask myself, what am I thinking? Sorry, YouTube. I'm forgetting about you a little bit. Yeah, what was I thinking in that moment to trigger all of these experiences these sensations that I was going through? And so I started really tuning into that voice that's way in the background, that's playing out these beliefs. As you say, that monkey brain keeps us in fear, and that monkey will be playing in its background. It's kind of like ding, 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 waiting and waiting until it gets loud enough, and then you're full panic or full anxiety. Monkey took over. So things that I was thinking in that moment were, oh my God, what's going to happen? What's the doctor going to say? What am I going to do? Am I still going to have disability? Now with CPTSD, or like severe post-traumatic stress disorder, we're also thinking about all those things that happened to us, okay? So quite literally, is that semi gonna come and hit me? Because you might have been in a car accident. Is that man who is staring at me across the room gonna come and hurt me? Is that lady over there gonna come and yell at me for doing something wrong? Like all these things were literally playing in the background because of previously lived experiences. And we have to come present into that present moment by tapping, or just, building that self-awareness muscle, which eventually, like you continue to practice it, more knowledge and wisdom is available from you within your mind and in your heart or your body. So yeah, these beliefs or these thoughts start stemming in us from as early as 0, or like utero, like when we're in utero. And what this means is, like, if our mom or parents were going through like trials and tribulations when they were pregnant, that energy gets transferred to you. And then we want to look back at a generation up, even grandma, grandpa, because your mom was inside your grandma, and that energy, and then it was passed down to your mom, who then had you. So these beliefs are literally trying to keep our love, safety, and belonging intact, what we get from the physical world around us. And so these beliefs are literally the hidden scripts, or the scripts way back there, that are running our lives. And so we believe here at Lively Intuitive Transformations that with the right tools, you can free yourself from the overprotective barriers that your mind and your body and your spirit have set up for you, that are continuing to play that dysfunctional loop. And so if the behavior continues to show up in you, in your actions, in your day-to-day, then it's a sign not to judge or punish yourself, or like harshly criticize, or just harshly criticize yourself, like, fuck, you should know better. Why are I fucking doing this? Etc. Like, no, it's like, oh, there I go again. And then hold curiosity. I wonder why, knowing what I know, am I choosing this? Hold curiosity for yourself, and you will begin to notice that there is no judgment or harsh criticism in curiosity. Yes, we need to analyze our life, but that does not mean that we need to overly criticize ourselves. We have to turn on that critical brain to check and evaluate and analyze where we might have necessary work to do. But then we turn it off, or we shift it once we receive that information, we turn it off and we transmute it into something that is going to be beneficial to us. Whether that's choosing different or, maybe it could be something as simple as like making changes around your physical environment. Doesn't have to be big, drastic changes. It could be something as hanging up a picture on your wall. We're in our new space, like in our getaway space, and something was lonely because there's nothing on the walls. And so I came and I brought it. And for YouTube, Instagram, like I'm just going to show you here quick. Even something so small as that, a little rainbow to brighten your day. So on that note, knowing that we're all here trying our absolute best, and that sometimes we don't always know what's best for us. And that's why we need to seek out help. Oh, that was fast. She must have answered it on the iPad. Emmy. So yeah, okay, beautiful. How can we make change with keeping our love, safety, and belonging intact? It starts with you. Knowing that this too shall pass, that as you're going through those changes and transformations, that those who you used to hang out with probably aren't going to be the people that you will hang out with. And why is that? Well, because you're meant to grow, you're meant to evolve, you're meant to do bigger and better things than what you might currently be doing. And in that, it's like if I continued to hang out with users and people who weren't going anywhere, I wasn't going to get better. And not saying that any of those people in that group were worthy of getting better. In fact, a few weeks ago, oh my God, it's going to be emotional. I remember sitting with this one chick years ago, 5+ years ago, we were both active addictions. And it was when I was really starting to like, I need better. I need to do better. Can't continue this life. And I just remember looking at particularly these two people, this girl and this dude I really connected with. And I thought, oh, I just wish I could take them with me. I wish they could get better too. But in that moment, I had to decide it was me doing it for me. I couldn't force anybody else, right? I couldn't stay there because I valued their connection more than I valued my own. And yeah, a couple weeks ago, I got to sit down with her. She's clean. She's going to school. She's got a beautiful daughter. And I couldn't be more fucking proud. So we value our sacred connection to ourself and to that which is greater here at Lively Intuitive Transformations. And we understand that we as humans have been long disconnected from our spiritual self. In fact, Western medicine had a very strong disconnection between our physical body and our mind, or even our mind and our emotions. And many Western medicine doesn't even consider our spirituality or the energy that is within as a basis of our health needs. And as we can see, it is. It very, very, very much is. And so reconnecting your mind, your body, your spirits, your emotions, and tuning into your innate abilities and the ways that who you naturally are is where your power lies. And so if you're struggling and you don't know where to start, reach out. It's okay. There was many people that I had to reach out to along my journey. Many. And some of those included doctors, psychologists, psychiatrists, therapists, even addictions counseling. I didn't necessarily agree with what they were doing. I didn't necessarily agree with everything they said or wanted me to do. But the difference was I was willing to try. I I was willing to try anything until I found what worked for me. And that's, again, where your power lies. So at Lively Intuitive Transformations, we have a signature system and a library, a wide library of inner and outer tools, skills, techniques, and experiences that you can learn to free yourself from the past, to live in the now and look forward to the future. That's in alignment with who you really are: true, free, authentic, and whole. Okay. And we take deep consideration that each human being has a unique makeup of who they are, where they've come from, and where they're going. And it's our personal mission at Lively Intuitive Transformations to always create a safe space and partner with you. Okay? Because you are your own best wisdom keeper. And we create this safe space and partner with you as you find the sovereignty, peace, and confidence you've been longing for and totally deserve and were born for. So transformation isn't about changing who you are. It's about letting go all of that which is no longer serving you, all of which isn't authentically you. Don't know what that is, but pause. Change in the world, it starts with you. Sending you guys so much love. Thank you. Thank you. I love these talks. I know I go a little bit on a tangent sometimes, but that's okay. I want to pull an oracle card for you guys here first before we leave, because that's always fun. Pulling cards is always fun. So this card is going to be speaking to the stuff that, you've had an inkling about, but you just fully haven't solidified or acknowledged or accepted that you need to accept. Ooh, great stuff. There's two cards. So I'm just going to actually pull them up here first before I show them. I like reading the books sometimes. I think it's just the artists who make these cards go through a lot of time and effort. So I want to honor their message that they birthed into the world to share too. So I'm going to start with this one, actually. 26. Ooh, I just love this. So this card speaks to the philosopher's soul. Okay. So if anybody follows me on Snapchat, I was talking about how this morning life is so philosophical. Okay, the philosopher's soul. Determination, instincts, and change. You are a free spirit, and when your wings are clipped, you feel frustrated and anxious. You are about to break free from a familiar pattern in your life, and more importantly, you will find out very soon who you are meant to be and what your purpose is. You have felt for a while that change is coming, and with a quiet, hungry aggression, you will secure the goal that you seek. You are destined for great things, and there is a sense of determination about you. Nothing. Oh, I lost my place. Okay. About you. Stop you from reaching your goals. Okay, yes. As you embrace new opportunities, you must go in with your eyes wide open, as things may not be as clear cut as first seen. So go in with your eyes wide open. Trust your instincts and you will not be wrong. That said, the future looks so rosy. So nip any negativity or negative thoughts in the butt and begin to plan for new opportunities. Woo! Let me know if that resonates with you. So talking about change, impending change, determination through the change, through the grief, through the and through the grief, through it all, and trust your instincts that this too shall pass. Wow, this is a long one. Thank you guys for listening. So, lastly, is home. Home is the kingdom. The fuck these cards. I love it. Okay, the house in the distance. Spot on. Good stuff. The house in the distance represents stability. But you are looking for a new challenge and a sense of freedom. So the need to spread your wings and allow them to take you wherever you need to be at this time. You are in a privileged position of having options open to you, but you must now take action rather than dreaming about what might be. So it's easy to let life pass you by, but life is meant to be for the living and to be lived to the full, and situations can change for the better or worse in a heartbeat. Now is the time to embrace the moment. Know that you have the support behind you to keep going and for it to change your path if you choose. It is only stopping you from moving on if you don't. There's a feeling of being stuck in limbo or there's a feeling of being stuck in limbo. Change your vibration by acting soon. Ah, yay. Thank you so much. Yes. So just reiterating everything that we said today. Thank you so much again for being here live or watching the replay. I appreciate each and every one of you. Again, it's you have the power. You do. Sending you love. Peace. Oh, we got to thank that which is greater for the earth we walk on, the air we breathe, the fire to fuel our souls, and the water to cleanse us, mind, bodies, and spirits. It's truly a blessing to be here. The philosophical message that I was receiving this morning was that you have the power. I sat and waited while I had a little thing on my lip. It was a little cut. Things get dry. Anywho, I'll share it on my stories later. So sending you love. Take care. Happy days.